I can't believe it's taken me this long to see this.
You could alter the course of somebody's entire life just in that one moment.
Discovery is its own kind of enlightenment.
Everything is alive. Everything has a purpose.
Is everything sacred?
Everything's sacred.
Living synthesis between rock and sunlight
Yes.
and what's been created by the human.
That's correct.
New York City, Los Angeles, they experience eternal twilight and they never get to experience a true dark sky.
Looking up makes you appreciate looking down.
Here is the most treacherous part.
I thought that's the end.
Huh?
I thought it would be the end.
No, we're still going.
We got to get around this corner.
Oh my gosh!
As humans, we've always looked up to the stars, to the planets. We've wondered what they are, what they mean, how do they affect us? Well, wherever you are in the world, you have the opportunity to look up into the sky. And into the night sky, we can look at the stars. But there are many ways to interpret the meaning, and lots of new technology and old techniques that we can use to see just what impact they have on us and our lives today.
The stars are in the same positions that all of humanity has ever seen. You know, the 10,000 years of looking at the stars, the North Star moves around a little bit, but everything else is pretty much the same.
It's interesting. It does connect us all, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, it's so ancient. It just goes back forever and ever. You're looking at the same stuff that all of humanity has always looked at.
There is a lot of science behind our connections with the stars, but we're lucky to have experts who don't let that scare people away from the benefits of looking up.
You know, we've been here so many years, and there's people that lived in Westport that have never even heard about it, which is crazy. And then there's guys that like showed up tonight that just moved here, and it was the first thing that he wanted to go see was this. So it's sort of, you know, we've kind of gone from being the crazy guys up on the hill to now a pretty well accepted and normalized part of Westport. A lot of people come here now. We had 1,000 people here for the eclipse, when Mars is close, when Venus is happening, and things like that. So a lot of people come out for very special events for here.
People don't only come here to the observatory to look up. These guys also take the telescope and bring the stars to the people.
The biggest telescope in Connecticut?
That one is.
The 25-inch obsession telescope is the largest one in Connecticut that's available for public viewing. That's the big gun in this state.
And we take it all over the place. Pre-COVID times, we take it to star parties all over.
A lot of people, they come and it's maybe their first time ever looking at stars or anything, so they don't know what to expect. You know, they've seen pictures from the Hubble, which is not what it looks like here. It's a big disappointment if you're expecting that. But for Jupiter, Saturn, and the Moon, those three in particular, it's amazing. And then there are a few other objects, a few bright galaxies and nebula that are also amazing. And just to get that firsthand experience of seeing it in person is shocking for a lot of people.
You have so much light gathering power with a telescope like that it's just shockingly good.
So how far can you see with something like that?
It's more how far back in time can you see, you know?
Dan did give me a quick science lesson on light, but none of that seems to matter when you actually experience it.
When I saw my first view of Saturn, I did not believe that was Saturn. I thought somebody was dangling a picture in front. Yeah, I was like, no way. And they go, no, that's really Saturn. And I was blown away. And so you see that same reaction with people here that have never seen the moon, you know, through a telescope, Jupiter, Saturn, and they look at it and they always come up with an expletive of some sort, like, I can't believe that's real. Everybody has a different experience when they see something that they don't understand or that they have heard about. And, you know, for me, I like seeing that light go on. I like seeing that from a little kid seeing Saturn for the first time or the moon to seeing an old guy going in there and just being floored. I can't believe it's taken me this long to see this. And when somebody comes here expecting to see Hubble pictures through the telescope, I'm always happy. You know, I always say I'm here to lower your expectations. You know, it's not going to look like Hubble. It's going to look like a little greasy smear on there sometimes. But understand what you're looking at. You're looking at something that came 50 million light years to hit your eye, and your eye alone. Nobody else is seeing this like you are. All those photons are yours.
All those photons are yours. Can you break that down for me?
All the light that you see coming from a galaxy or a star, those photons are shooting across space. And when they hit something, that's it, that photon's dead. It's not going anywhere else. So when you're looking at a photon coming from a galaxy that's 50 million light years away, you stop that photon with your eyeball. That photon's not going anywhere. It's traveled 50 million light years to go to you.
You're making me feel very special that I'm going to get my own photons.
You're going to get a big dose of photons tonight. Most people don't spend the time to look up to see and think about, you know, this little dust mote that we're flying around on that's just kind of floating around out there doing its own thing, and that it's just this part of this wonderful, crazy, huge, massive piece of the universe, but it's just this so small. And this is our little spaceship that we get to go take around and take a little spin on for the time being. But that's the stuff that is so amazing to me, is that we have this great little vehicle to go around and that we're aware that we're in this time, that we're aware of everything that's around us. And so to look up and see that and make that connection with the sky is, I think, great to me.
And this is a fairly recent thing. It wasn't until about 1920 that people realized there were other galaxies. So it's that recent.
When we went to the moon for the first time and they looked back and they saw that picture of Earth, and then you see the clouds swimming around and you see this big black emptiness of nothing all around it, and all of humanity, everything that ever happened in all of history happened right there. That makes you go, huh?
Hold on, everything is right there. That's it.
There's no planet B. You know, going to Mars is certainly an option, but it's not going to be Earth. Earth was made, or we were made for Earth. Venus is a hellhole. Mars has got no air. You know,
there's no Starbucks on Mars.
There's no Starbucks. So this is what we got, and I think when you look up there and you see all these things and you see how hard it is to get to that, and how difficult it is, that I think looking up makes you appreciate looking down.
Shannon is a professional photographer, but he learned the hard way what it takes to photograph the night sky.
That is a humbling experience. It is not the same thing. It's a lot harder. You have to gather not just one photo, but dozens, if not hundreds, and then stack them together in software and use very difficult processing to bring out the details and suppress the noise, because you're trying to separate something that's very faint, it's just a little bit gray, against a darker background. There's not a whole lot of contrast there. You've got to separate that and bring it out. It's not easy.
Are you the biggest collector of photons here?
Probably.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's got a nice collection of photons.
Now, I really didn't expect any shocks tonight because I've always loved looking up.
Would you guys like to see Saturn?
Oh, you bet.
But Dan was right. When I saw Saturn through a telescope for the first time tonight, the awe and wonder just blew me away.